Evernap was a sleepy village. Very, very sleepy. The loudest sound was usually Mrs. Higgins' cat, Mr. Snuggles, chasing pigeons, but within the quiet heart of Evernap was a group with anything but sleepy spirits. They were the Silver Sneakers, a club for retirees with more energy than teenagers after a whole bag of sweets.
There was Agnes, who could knit a scarf faster than you could say wool, and Bert, who still rode his bicycle uphill both ways. And of course, there was Mildred, famous for her delicious yet slightly explosive fruitcake.
Every Thursday, the Silver Sneakers met in the village hall. They'd swap stories, play board games, and sometimes, if they were feeling really wild, they'd have a dance-off. Their moves might have been a little creaky, but their enthusiasm was top-notch. The Silver Sneakers were a reminder that age was just a number, and it was never too late to have a good laugh and maybe a cheeky biscuit or two. One Thursday, Harold, the enthusiastic and slightly accident-prone leader of the Silver Sneakers, bounced into the village hall. Harold had a spring in his step and a twinkle in his eye that could only mean one thing. He had a new idea. And not just any idea, a brilliant, incredible, never-been-done-before idea.
Team, he boomed, nearly knocking over a vase full of Mildred's thankfully unexploded fruitcake. I've got it, a treasure hunt.
The room went silent. Agnes stopped mid-knit, a confused sparrow perched on her knitting needle. Bert nearly choked on his biscuit. Even Mr. Snuggles, who'd snuck in for a biscuit raid, looked intrigued. A treasure hunt in sleepy little Evernap? This was going to be interesting. Now, no Silver Sneakers meeting would be complete without Martha. Martha was known for two things: her sharp wit and her even sharper skepticism. If Harold was sunshine and rainbows, Martha was a good, strong cup of tea. Sensible, grounding, and with just a hint of something unexpected.
A treasure hunt, you say, Harold? She said, raising an eyebrow. And what exactly are we meant to find in Evernap? A lost sheep or a forgotten tea bag?
Harold, undeterred, grinned.
This isn't just any treasure hunt, Martha, he said, brandishing a dusty, rolled-up piece of parchment. This, my friends, is an ancient map. Legend has it there's a hidden treasure somewhere in Evernap, buried by Captain Bartholomew Barnacle Beard Brown himself.
Martha snorted. Barnacle Beard Brown? Sounds like someone made that up while they were cleaning out their earwax.
But even she had to admit Harold's enthusiasm was contagious. A little adventure. It wouldn't hurt, would it? Besides, a good walk might help her work up an appetite for Mildred's fruitcake. She just hoped it wasn't the explosive kind this time. And so the Silver Sneakers embarked on their grand adventure. Armed with Harold's ancient map, which upon closer inspection looked suspiciously like it had been drawn on the back of a takeaway menu, a magnifying glass and a healthy dose of skepticism, they set off into the wilds of Evernap.
They followed cryptic clues. Turn left at the grumpy-looking gnome. Which gnome? They all looked grumpy. Deciphered riddles. I have keys but no locks. It was the piano in the village hall, much to Agnes's amusement, and even navigated their way through Farmer Giles' cow pasture, much to the cow's confusion.
There were a few mishaps along the way, of course. Harold nearly took a tumble into the village pond. Convinced X marked the spot, it marked a particularly large lily pad. Bert got distracted by a butterfly and ended up in the next village over, and Mildred swore she saw a squirrel carrying a tiny treasure chest. It was just a nut.
But the Silver Sneakers, armed with walking sticks, a magnifying glass, and a very confused-looking dog, were undeterred. They studied the map outside the village hall, ready for whatever came next.